Welcome to our video on daily life in ancient Rome. The Roman Empire was one of the most powerful and influential empires in history, and its legacy can still be seen in the architecture, art, and culture of modern Europe. In this video, we'll explore what daily life was like for the ancient Romans, including their food, clothing, housing, and entertainment. Food was an important part of daily life in ancient Rome. The Romans were known for their love of fine cuisine, and they had a wide variety of foods available to them. The staple foods in the Roman diet were grains, such as wheat and barley, which were used to make bread, porridge, and other foods. They also ate a lot of vegetables, including beans, lentils, and peas. Meat was also an important part of the Roman diet, although it was generally reserved for the wealthy. The Romans ate a variety of meats, including beef, pork, lamb, and poultry. They also enjoyed seafood, such as fish, oysters, and mussels. The Romans were also known for their love of wine, and they produced a wide variety of wines throughout the empire. Wine was consumed at almost every meal, and the Romans believed that it had medicinal properties. Clothing was an important part of Roman culture, and the style of dress varied depending on social class and gender. The toga was a traditional garment worn by Roman men, and it was a symbol of Roman citizenship. Women wore stolas, which were long dresses that were usually made of linen or silk. The toga was worn over a tunic, which was a simple garment made of wool or linen. The color of the toga and tunic was also an indication of social class, with the wealthy wearing brightly colored clothing and the poor wearing more subdued colors. Roman footwear varied depending on the occasion, with sandals being the most common type of shoe. Roman soldiers wore boots that were specifically designed for marching long distances. Housing in ancient Rome varied depending on social class, with the wealthy living in large villas and the poor living in cramped apartment buildings. The wealthy lived in large homes that were often built around a central courtyard. These homes had multiple rooms, including bedrooms, dining rooms, and reception rooms. The poor, on the other hand, lived in apartment buildings called insulae. These buildings were often poorly built and overcrowded, with multiple families sharing a single apartment. Water was a major concern in ancient Rome, and the wealthy often had access to private baths and running water. The poor, on the other hand, had to get their water from public fountains and communal wells. The Romans were known for their love of entertainment, and they had a wide variety of activities to choose from. The theater was a popular form of entertainment, and the Romans built large amphitheaters that could seat thousands of people. The gladiatorial games were another popular form of entertainment, and they were often held in large arenas. These games involved trained fighters battling to the death, and they were a source of excitement and spectacle for the Roman people. Chariot races were also a popular form of entertainment. These were held in large stadiums like the Circus Maximus, which could hold up to 250,000 spectators. The charioteers were often slaves or freedmen who risked their lives for the chance at fame and fortune. The most famous charioteer of all time was Gaius Apuleius Diocles, who is said to have earned 35,863,120 sesterces over his career, which is equivalent to roughly $15 billion today. Religion played a major role in the daily lives of Romans. They were polytheistic and believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each with their own sphere of influence. There were gods for love, war, agriculture, and even the household. Romans believed that they needed to keep the gods happy in order to ensure their own prosperity. One of the most important religious events was the festival of Saturnalia, which was held in honor of the god Saturn. This was a week-long celebration in December that involved feasting, gift-giving, and general merriment. It was a time when social norms were relaxed, and slaves were allowed to celebrate alongside their masters. Daily life in ancient Rome was vastly different depending on one's social status. The wealthy lived in spacious villas with servants and enjoyed the finer things in life, while the poor often lived in cramped apartments with little to no access to clean water or sanitation. However, there were certain aspects of daily life that were common to all Romans. One of these was the importance of public baths. Romans believed in the health benefits of regular bathing, and public baths were a place where people could come together to socialize and relax. There were separate bathing areas for men and women, as well as areas for exercise and massage. Another important aspect of daily life was the role of the family. Family was considered to be the foundation of Roman society, and the paterfamilias, or head of the household, had immense power over his family members. This included the power of life and death over his children, although this was rarely exercised in practice. The legacy of ancient Rome can still be felt today in many aspects of our modern world. The Roman Empire was one of the largest and most powerful empires in history, and its influence can be seen in the fields of law, language, and architecture. Roman law, in particular, has had a lasting impact on legal systems around the world. The principles of Roman law, such as the presumption of innocence and the right to a fair trial, are still the basis of many legal systems today. In terms of language, Latin, the language of ancient Rome, has had a significant impact on the development of Western languages. Many modern words and phrases have their roots in Latin, and Latin continues to be taught in schools and universities around the world. Finally, Roman architecture has had a lasting impact on the built environment. Roman buildings, such as the Colosseum and the Pantheon, are still standing today and continue to inspire architects and engineers around the world. In conclusion, the ancient Romans lived in a complex and fascinating society that has left a lasting impact on our world today. From their impressive engineering feats to their love of entertainment, there is much that we can learn from the Romans. By studying their history, we can gain a better understanding of our own society and the legacy that we are leaving for future generations.